Hey everyone, this is Captain Lando Muñiz with Nomad Fishing, and today I'm bringing you the fishing report for September 8th, 2023. Before I get started with the report, I just wanted to say that we have the next few days, the weather should be real good. So if you've been wanting to get out, now's the time to plan your trip and get out there as soon as possible. Take advantage of the good weather. I also want to make sure that you guys go ahead and when you see this video, make sure don't forget to hit that like button. It's how you help the channel. You get more of these videos. We did not fish. Let me start off. I'm going to start off offshore, which is what we did on our most recent trip, which was yesterday. I did not fish today, but I did get some reports. So I'm going to kind of blend all that in together. But I'm going to start offshore, which is what we did yesterday. We went out looking for primarily mahi, but we weren't necessarily not looking for anything else. I mean, wahoo, tunas, whatever we could find was fine. So we ran offshore. We started the day by netting some pilchards. We blacked out 2 wells in probably 10 or 15 minutes. It was pretty fast. The nets were coming up full on every throw. So bait was easy. So bait is starting to move in, especially the pilchards. We should see more of that here as we get into the fall. After we loaded up with the pilchards, we started running offshore. We hit 3 or 4 spots without finding anything. It seemed like everywhere we stopped, and it looked kind of fishy. We weren't coming up with anything. Nothing was coming up. We did find, after a while, we did find a nice pack of birds that was working some tunas, and we were able to get in front of them and start chumming heavily, and we got the tunas all riled up, and we had them busting all around the boat. And we probably caught about 6 or 7. These were blackfin tuna. We did have 1 skipjack tuna. So that was pretty cool. And after a while, we kind of stopped getting them on bait. We were trying to get them on poppers and artificials and jigs and all kinds of things because it was that much fun. We really weren't, too concerned about filling the box or anything like that. We were fine with a few. So after a while, after we kind of got tired of doing that, we moved on. We kept our, looking for a mahi or wahoo, whatever. And we hit a couple more spots. On the way there, we ran into a couple of friends on 2 different boats that were both dropping for swordfish, and the news we got was that they had no bites. So apparently the swordfish are not really biting right now, even though September, October, especially October is usually considered a really good month. So that should change here very soon. You should start to see a better swordfish bite. I'm talking about whether it's daytime sword fishing on the bottom or nighttime closer to the surface. Both should be real good here in the next month or 2. So we'll keep an eye on that. Getting back to the offshore fishing, like I said, we hit 2 or 3 more spots, not finding anything. Then we hit a nice floating pallet, which is every fisherman's dream offshore. We always hear about that magical pallet or that magical floater. Well, we found one. And there was a bunch of small not trigger fish, but triple tail on it, some jacks, and it had a lot of life on it. So that's always a good sign. We didn't see any mahi right off the bat, but we kept working it. We started working some vertical jigs. First jig down, I think we got cut off on the way down. So we figured it was a wahoo. So we tied on another jig, dropped it down. This time we added some wire, and boom, we had first wahoo. We ended up catching about 6 or 7 wahoo. Probably had another 4 or 5 cutoffs. We caught the wahoo both on the vertical jigs, on the speed jigs, and we also caught them on the planer using a drone spoon. Both worked, and we caught fish on both. While we were trolling the spoons around the pallet, we did have some mahi come up, and we were able to get 2 or 3 decent mahi from it. And that was all we saw as far as mahi goes. Later, we came across maybe 1 more, and we never hooked up. But that was pretty much it. After we were done and we had enough fish, we started heading back in. Our last drop was on a deep wreck in about 270, 280, and we got 1 or 2 amberjack there. I think we had 2 bites and got 1 out of the 2. The other one, I think, broke off or something like that. But that was our last drop. The water did look pretty nasty inside on the edge, right off Key Biscayne there. We had green water and no current, which are less than ideal conditions. I did speak to someone that was out lobstering today down south of the light. They said the water did look better down south, and a trickle of current they had down there. So it's a little bit better to the south if you can go that way. I had a report from another captain that was fishing right out front today in front of Key Biscayne. He had a mix of a few yellowtails, a couple kings, and some mackerel, cirro mackerel, and stuff like that. So if you put in the time, there's fish to be caught. But the conditions right now, especially in front of Miami, are a little challenging. Hopefully the water will clean up here in the next couple of days, and we'll get a push of good current and clean blue water. Well, guys, until next time, my name is Captain Orlando Muniz with Nomad Fishing.